Hey guys, Mr. 3D Hero here, and in today's video for my Loadout series, I'm going to be focusing on a particular well-known enemy trooper seen and thoroughly talked about throughout the whole of the Star Wars universe. So sit back, relax, and I do hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So the name of the loadout is called the StormTrooper loadout, and I'm going to be trying to get that theme from the Star Wars and try to get their particular loadout from armor, weapons, and either classes and boosts that they use. And I'm going to try to implement that into the TitanFall 2 universe as a more futuristic version of it. So let's go straight into the main loadout. The class I'm going to be using is Hollow. Now Hollow kind of fits the theme for the Stormtroopers, as Stormtroopers all look the same except for versions that are either elite or the better types. So you have the Death Troopers, the ones that are all in black, or you have the Royal Guards that are usually in all red. In this case here, we're going to be going with the normal Stormtroopers, the more well-known and iconic ones, the ones in the white armor. Now this kind of fits the theme for the class as well, as it allows us to make multiple copies of ourselves. So in many ways, like my other previous video, One Man Army, we can make multiple versions of ourselves as decoys and such, but at the same time it allows us, the main player, to kind of act out as if we're on like a special duty for our particular character in the Titanfall universe. But in many ways it's kind of what you want to go with, but like I said, it kind of fits the theme for Hollow. So I believe that the Hollow is kind of a more futuristic version of Stormtroopers, and like I said, considering that the Stormtroopers are all clones, it fits the theme perfectly. Now our primary weapon we're going to be using is the L-Star. Now the L-Star is probably one of the closest when it comes down to the main primary weapon that the Stormtroopers use, and the main weapon that Stormtroopers use is a blaster type weapon. Now the only problem with trying to get the similarities down is that the L-Star is much bigger and buffier and chunky compared to the normal blaster weapon used by the Stormtroopers, but we can't be perfect when it comes to this loadout, so we just go with what we currently got. Now the L-Star, because it got recently buffed, is even more deadly and dangerous at close to medium ranges, so you're going to be having some good fun using this weapon, and also it's going to be a great place to learn how to effectively use the L-Star, as the L-Star, although it has infinite battery, it does overheat quite quickly. But if you can learn how to overcome that small situation with the weapon, the L-Star may become one of the best weapons that you ever used, probably be the number one weapon that you ever actually used in the game. Our secondary now is going to be the RE-45. The RE-45 allows us to use it as a backup weapon in case like I said, our L-Star overheats. If our L-Star does overheat, quickly switch to your RE-45 and finish off the opponent that is trying to challenge you. If not, and you just want to go with the RE-45 as a secondary, you can go do whatever you like, but I'm trying to keep it as simple as the loadout that what Stormtroopers may use. Now you don't have to use the RE-45, you can use any other weapon you want, but the RE-45 is more ideal. It's good, it's effective, in close to medium ranges, and it drops pilots and AIs within a quick amount of time, as long as you aim for the head as much as possible. The boost we're going to be going with is the Amp Weapon. Now Amp Weapon allows us to amp our particular primary and secondary weapon, so they can do a bit more damage than usual. So look at my L-Star. Instead of my L-Star dropping people at say 3 to 4 shots, it'll be dropping people at around 3 shots instead. And it makes the weapon even more deadly. And compare that to the RE-45, instead of my weapon dropping them at least say 4 to 5 shots, I could be ending them in at least say 3 to 4 shots, depending on where I aim and such. So the Amp Weapon is one of the boosts that I particularly like. If you don't want to go with Amp Weapon, you can go with Particle Wall, but Particle Wall is kind of I would say it's a 50-50 type boost. I don't see a lot of usage being used with it, and it's kind of weak. But I will probably be making a video later on based upon the Particle Wall and what needs to be done with it, considering that it shouldn't really be introduced in the game whatsoever. Now the ordnance we're going to be using is Frag Grenades. Frag Grenades allows us to clear out areas that may be overrun with enemies or pilots. So it's great for clearing out big groups of enemies in one go. And for example, if you use your Hollow pilot or your decoy in an area that you think is overcome with enemy, not only will it give their position away, it will allow you to throw a nice cheeky frag grenade in there, and allows you to clear up all the mess in there, and then if you want to, you can go in and clear up from there. Or if you don't want to use frag grenades, you can always use arc grenades. Arc grenades also allow you to basically stop particular enemy pilots in their place for a few seconds, and allow you to go in there, use the L-Star, and completely mow them down. Whatever ordnance you want to go with is up to you, but I recommend that you use frag grenades or use the arc grenades. Now, pilot kits we're going to be using is fast regeneration, so basically allows us to regain our health at a much quicker pace. And then our secondary is going to be the kill report, so it allows me to know who has died on my team, where to, and who has died on the enemy team, and where to. Great for knowing what areas to actually attack and what areas you should actually not go into, and it allows us to kind of rethink how we want to actually attack our target. And lastly, you kind of want to go with the all white camo. I believe I mentioned this before in the beginning of the video for the StormTrooper, but just to get the feel of being a particular StormTrooper in the Titanfall universe, go with an all white. If you don't have all white, then go all black. If you don't have all black, go all red. If you don't have any of that, then just by all means go with whatever color you want, but try and go with all white if you can. So now, when we go into the gameplay of this, I'm trying to aim this loadout particularly for pilot versus pilot, because I don't see this being particularly well usable in attrition. Because in attrition, yes, you do go against pilots and AI, and that'll probably be great for you, as it kind of fits the whole big theme of a world, kind of like a universal war going on. But particularly, the only problem is the Titan, and the Titans don't feel that kind of Star Wars-y in the game. Although we have like stuff like the AT-AT that's well known in Star Wars universe, we can't really compare the AT-AT to, say, a Titan like Ion or a Titan like Scorch. It doesn't really fit the theme. So I'm going to try to keep it more to pilot versus pilot as a ongoing ground war, where it's only stormtroopers against, say, the rebels. So we try to keep it as that as much as possible. So now, gameplay wise, like I said, when you're going into a particular map, try and hit the maps that are more smaller. So I mean like Complex or Eden or Forward Base Kodai, as you have to remember that your L-Star, although it's good and effective at damaging pilots and AI quickly, you have to realize that it's quite terrible at long distances. So try and have maps that are more indoors and where certain fights can occur at a much quicker rate. In this gameplay here, I believe I'm playing on Complex. So this basically allows me to use my L-Star as effectively as possible. Now, in the clip, you're also going to be seeing me use my Holopilot. Sometimes I'll be using my Holopilot as a decoy. Sometimes I'll be using him as just a diversion to actually get some enemies off my back. As much as possible, I recommend that you try to use your Holopilot as decoys. That's the whole point. But try and shoot them into areas that you think enemies will be. Now, if you shoot them into areas where they are it will basically allow you to know where the enemies are. But also at the same time, it allows you to help your teammates who don't know if they should push into that area or not. So then, by the time that the enemy team shoots at your decoy, not only will it give their position away, it also allows you to quickly rethink how you want to approach this. So if you want to jump in there, go aggressive over the L-Star and take them all out, by all means go ahead. But in this type of situation, I would recommend that you either throw a grenade in there, but first do remember that you should cook it. If you cook it, it kills them much quicker instead of taking off a bit of damage, and it basically allows them not to escape. And at the same time, if it takes out a particular pilot in that area, then quickly go around the corner and then use your L-Star and clear it from there. If you have your teammates behind you, it'll be even more beneficial for you. But in this gameplay here, you kind of see me that at first I do mess up. I'm quite sloppy. I don't know what I'm doing. There's a lot of AWOL pilots as well, so it makes it even more situational and more annoying in this type of game. And in this game, I should have actually just flanked as much as possible, but I was kind of getting greedy, thinking to myself that, oh yeah, I can probably get a really high score, a high kill score on myself. And yeah, I do get it, but I kind of have to learn that, yes, I can be aggressive, but I also need to learn more about actually flanking more. If I can flank more, it allows me to clear up pilots, especially the AWOL pilots that become a major pain. But at the same time, the AWOL pilot becomes too much of an easy target for me, as if I'm not using my main primary, I can always use my frag grenades, and my frag grenades are doing wonders when it comes down to taking out pilots that decide to camp up in corners. Because when they camp up in the corners, they can't escape, and if I throw a cook grenade at them, not only can't they escape, but it's easy kills for me, and it's easy kills for my teammates as well. But yeah, after you've done a particular good amount of damage to them, you should at least then get your amped weapon. Now, I do recommend that when you do get your amped weapon, use it only when you think it's the right time. As in Pilot vs Pilot, it's quite easy to get killed, and in this, like I said, in this clip, you see me multiple times get killed either by AWOL pilots or I get killed by pilot sentries. These are going to be the two commonest things you're going to see in Pilot vs Pilot. So to avoid this, make sure that you have at least 2 amped weapons on you at all times. Use your first one when you get the chance, but then keep going on the killing spree, and that hopefully you should get then another amp weapon. So then basically if you use your amp weapon and you die, you can then use your other amp weapon again. Or in better cases, if you can find where you died the moment you use your amp weapon, you can then pick up your primary weapon that you dropped, and hopefully the amped bonus should apply to your main primary, and then by all means you can then go off on your killing spree. And trust me, using the L-Star with amp weapon becomes something quite ridiculous. I mean, it's really quite fun, honestly. But in general, yeah, that's kind of it really. It's fun, it's good, and in this loadout particularly, you can do really well in it. But the only problem I see with it is that you have to use it only on particularly small maps. Don't use it on big maps like Homestead, for example, because you're not going to be doing well. But on smaller maps, it does wonders. And if you're the type of person that enjoy loadouts that are particularly designed from, say, other video games or other movies and such, this loadout is going to be just for you. And you know what? I think the best thing I could probably see of this is seeing a whole team using Holo and using this particular pilot and particular loadout and going in at tonight the actual Stormtroopers. Just think about it. That would be quite amazing and quite a good sight to see. But a man can dream. So I do hope you enjoyed the video, and I do hope you enjoyed this loadout. If you did, then leave a comment in the comment section, or leave a like for more. If you didn't like the video, then by all means just leave a dislike. I understand, I can improve, I've still got time. And if you still don't disagree or don't like the video whatsoever, then please leave a comment in the comment section. State what you don't like, and also give me some recommendations of some other loadouts that you would like me to particularly do, as I do have another loadout that you might like from Destiny. So thank you for watching, and I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave a like for more or leave a dislike. Also subscribe for more or share if you like to. But thanks for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon.